WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 8 minutes before 11 o'clock. I have a friend who went to London, Robin. And he went to Abbey Road Studios.
Oh, wow.
And I'm old enough to actually know that was cool. But I was thinking about when the Beatles recorded in Abbey Road Studios, the technology of the day, right? And I'm not talking about their talent or their songwriting skills. I'm talking about the technology they used to record, right? And if they could have seen the future, I don't know that anybody could have seen what we can do now, what they could do in that studio. And of course, they did amazing things, but now the world has changed so much. We all have at our fingertips so many different tools that have been made possible by those in technology that see a way to do things a little bit better. And it's almost like exponential. Is that the word, where things speed up like it's quicker today than it was yesterday? Mm-hmm. Kevin Kelly has written a book. It is called The Inevitable: Understanding the 12 Technological Forces That Will Shape Our Future. Kevin is one of the leading technology thinkers and writers, the co-founder and senior maverick at Wired Magazine, the founding editor and co-publisher of the Cool Tools website, and the co-founder of the ongoing Hackers Conference. And he's on the phone. And if you're looking at this streaming video, you see the cover of the book called The Inevitable. Good morning, Kevin Kelly. Good morning, sir. What an honor.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Where are you calling from?
Pacifica, California, at the center of the universe, where all the new ideas are converging.
Nice.
Well, thank you for getting up early. So do you have a hunch of what the future looks like because you're right at the heart of it all?
Yeah, I try to spend as much time as I can trying out a lot of these new things. I was a very early pioneer on the online world. In fact, helped co-create the first public access to the internet in 1984.
Really?
Hackers Conference. I had the first virtual reality jamboree, 24-hour access to all the VR in 1989. And so I've been thinking about this and living it as much as possible, trying to listen to the technology to see what it wants.
Do you know, one of the things, and I don't know that I'm right, and I'm probably not, but one of the things I've thought about what you have done, now that I can speak to you, is that by having the ability to communicate with one another in a social way, I get to speak, and more importantly than me, kids get to speak to other kids in Iran, in Syria, in Russia, in countries that the news tells us is filled with evil people, and they find out that, okay, maybe the governments are evil, but these kids are just like me. And what I'm trying to say is, I think what you've created is the ability for us to realize we're not that different, and maybe we won't be so frightened and propagandized against, if that makes sense.
That's absolutely true. There's very clear evidence that actually violence in the world has been decreasing on a global average year by year. So on the global average, we're safer and safer as individuals. We're healthier. We live longer. So progress is real, which is really brought about by technological advances of the type that we're talking about. And they will continue even in the next 20 or 30 years.
And we have on this show all the time doctors, and that's another field where technology has really catapulted the progress. It's unbelievable. There was a story just this morning about a flu virus vaccine that might be once in a lifetime, and you never need to get it again, coming out of Australia.
Right, and we're just at the beginning of some of those medical revolutions, which is going to be aided tremendously by the coming artificial intelligence revolution, which will become a commodity, and I think will have an impact similar to electricity did 150 years ago.
Wow.
Where we brought artificial power to everybody, and you could buy as much as you wanted as a commodity. And now we're going to have AI flowing on the cloud, and anybody can buy AI as much as you want, and that's going to be the second industrial revolution.
I think people will learn to coexist with some of the robotics in the future that will be taking place, which the future is today. Some people are afraid of losing their jobs, but I think it's going to be just the opposite.
I 100% agree that it's kind of really difficult to imagine what these new jobs are, but we have seen again and again that technology births new desires in us that we didn't even know we had. I mean, who would have believed that we absolutely had to carry around this magic stone in our pocket that we could talk to each other and share photos? That was nothing that any farmer 150 years ago would imagine when you gave them the pink slip, because 150 years ago 75% of Americans were farmers, and you told them, hey, you're not going to have any jobs, and they'll say, what are we going to do? And you're going to say, well, you're going to become web designers and mortgage brokers and yoga trainers. None of that would have computed with them.
That is interesting. I don't know if this is completely in line with the book, but if you look back at some of your predecessors, Tesla is one that comes to mind. It's amazing that some of the innovations that guys like Tesla came up with back then are still not being harnessed to their fullest. And I'm guessing a guy like yourself probably has had things you've done that will probably be harnessed long after you're gone.
Yeah, it takes a long time to absorb a lot of these inventions, and there's a kind of a rule in innovation which is called the next adjacent step, which is basically a lot of inventions are too many steps ahead. You can kind of only go one step at a time. And the genius of someone like Thomas Edison was that he was not the first inventor of the electric light bulb. There were 32 other inventors of the light bulb before Edison. What Edison came up with was just the right mixture of a system. So he had an electrical generation system, a light bulb system, the right vacuum, the right voltages, and so he had the right next step rather than being 2 or 3 steps ahead.
Wow. Thank you for sharing some of what your thoughts are with us. The book is called The Inevitable. Kevin Kelly, we have not done it justice with a short interview like this. Trust me, you will be intrigued with what's in the book. I have a copy of it, so call me if you want the copy that was sent to me. The rest of us have to buy it. I found it on Amazon. You've got really good reviews. Kevin, do you have a website you can direct us to?
Yes, this is my initials, kk.org.
It's easy enough.
I love that.
All right, kk.org. Thank you, Kevin. This is WOCA Ocala.
In Wu, one day before the fired FBI Director James Comey speaks before a Senate committee, the president announces he'd like to fill that opening at the FBI.
He tweeted, I will be nominating Christopher A. Wray, a man of impeccable credentials, to be the new director of the FBI. Details to follow. Christopher Asher Wray is his name. He is a partner in the law firm of King and Spalding, where he specializes in white-collar crime. He was appointed by President George W. Bush to be Associate Attorney General under Attorney General John Ashcroft.
Fox's Doug McElway getting underway a Senate hearing with heads of 4 intel agencies.
The expectation based on our reporting here at Fox News is that the witnesses will be